Now then, these forwards, Santiago de la Pey, Marco Bortolami, the second row pairing, very powerful, very talented. Can they do enough to stop England? And behind, well, Ramiro Pérez and Paul Griffin, a sort of Argentine-New Zealand combination playing for Italy. Gonzalo Canale, another with Argentine roots, very talented in the centre. But for power, well, you need look no further than this. And their second row pairing, Steve Borthwick and Danny Grewcock, they were utterly formidable against Wales. And if we go into the last quarter, we could see something coming from the centre pairing, Mike Tindall and Jamie Noon. And for Italy, the horror of that England bench. Lawrence Dallaglio, Matt Dawson, World Cup winners, ready to come off and add extra power to the England game. Kelvin Deaker from New Zealand is the referee today.
From behind the line.
Charlie Hodgson
Left.
will start the game. RDS Six Nations round 2.
We're happy? Okay.
First game
right,
at home in Rome for the Italians.
Captain. White. Let's play.
England switch. Ben Cohen chases. Canale with the catch.
Stay there, stay there. No. No.
Paul Griffin feeds. Oh, Ramiro Pérez who drops it. And Pérez remembers his Argentine footballing skills. Just.
Well, I suppose in the end play going on out wide there, but I suppose in the end Lopez did well to get it out, but he's created a situation which is ideal for England early on. Scrum, attacking position, all the options open wide. And what will Tom Boyce do here?
Harry Ellis first will feed the scrum. There, the England back stretch. Way out, no blindside wing. Ben Cohen has already come into the middle of the pitch. Martin Corry picks up the tackle by Mauro Bergamasco. His brother Mirko playing in the centre. The drive on there by Andy Sheridan. And still England keep it tight. Ellis now looks for Hodgson. The little dink through. Griffin has it covered well.
Well, surprised that England didn't decide to give them a bit more width there, or at least keep the ball in hand. Well covered there by Paul Griffin. There was never any real chance of a score.
Paul Griffin. And this is Charlie Hodgson. And Ramiro Pérez, naturally left-footed with the 22-metre dropout. Just think Italy just taking their time on that restart. They've found themselves deep in their own 22 early on. Just want to settle themselves down. Tom Boyce, who came on against Wales, is in the starting lineup today. Josh Lucy out with an injured shoulder. And then the change of tactic from Charlie Hodgson, testing Ramiro Pérez to Griffin. And that's well done by Italy. Martin Corry is back as the ball bounces infield. Corry, Hodgson, oh dear. Cueto finds himself in a spot of bother thanks to that pass from his captain.
No! Yes!
First touch for Mike Tindall.
4 blue! Row clear, 1! 1 blue! Shift the legs, 1! No.
Hodgson. Christian Stoiker. Not the longest clearance in the world from the large Italian fullback, born in Romania. And he's been around a long time in the Italian centre, but under Belbizier has been moved into the back 3.
Well, this is the start of innumerable line-outs this afternoon, and it's important for England that their line-out works, because then they've got a power base from which they can do, well, whatever they like, really.
Steve Thompson, his first throw. Matt Stevens at the back. Oh, goes straight past Paul Griffin. Good run by the England tight head prop. Sheridan.
10 blue!
Hodgson, Tyndall. Solid tackling by Mirko Bergamasco. Here's Hodgson. Infield to Tom Voice. Voice tackled by 3 blue shirts.
One, go.
Joe Worsley steps up to fill Harry Ellis's gap. Thompson comes short and is there to support Worsley. Ellis, Ben Cohen. Cohen gets away from Delapé. Voice to Sheridan.
Push. Got the ball wide.
Oh, Sheridan may have been turned over there.
Well, both props are involved early on in surging runs, but that's not good contact skills. Ball needed to come back there. There are enough players available. A little worrying for Italy early on that they seem to be grappling high on people like Ben Cohen, and you are not going to put someone down like with Ben Cohen's size and power.
Waiting for the
Here's a test for Italy.
Catch and hold.
That England weight advantage
Stand.
at the scrummage.
Yes.
Interesting there, the scrum's broken up, but
Yes, of course.
Italians are obviously just
We have a
hitting and
pause,
driving,
we're not
trying to neutralise the England bulk.
Engage.
And that's a good start.
That's a good scrum by Italy. Sergio Parise, well, it wasn't the best real angle for the number 8 to run from that scrum. England take it quickly. Here's Tyndall. Jamie Noon on his shoulder. Tyndall straightens. Oh, Danny Grewcock has knocked it on.
Well, Harry Ellis was just behind Danny Grewcock then. He's going to basically be shouting and communicating, saying, leave this.
Hookers, 2 hookers.
There he is, he's already
Two
there,
hookers.
and there was room
Two right,
outside if
two.
the ball could have come back and gone to the England right.
We spoke in the change room. We go down and we wait. Okay,
England's
we've had 3
approach,
scrums,
Brian,
which is
has been
rushing.
very
Just
much
go down
a
and wait.
short
Okay,
passing game.
It's
Same
been
level.
direct, shall we say. But that was the last scrum from Italy. Very, very impressive for a light attack.
Go.
And they've
again.
gone for that little drive again on their own ball, Italy. It's quite unusual. Instead of locking out, they're going for a drive.
6, you're on.
Now, Voice, let it bounce. And that's a huge clearance. So, here goes Voice. Quickly taken. Not much ground gain. That's good work for Italy. Good scrummage and a good kick.
Well, this is an area this is one area where England have been dominant recently, but you can see the Italian Titan is getting inside Andrew Sheridan there. He's a smaller man, obviously he's powerful and technically good, and that's a very good drive on your own ball, because remember, at some point the hooker is going to lift his foot off, and so you've got 8 against, well, 7 or 7.5.
The 7-man Italian pack with the hooker striking for the ball did ever so well there. That's can they do just as well at the line out? That's not bad. Well down from Parise, and here they come through the 3/4. Canale to Mauro Bergamasco. Bergamasco tackled by Tom Voice. Griffin, Christian Stoica. Parise was the dummy runner. Nitolia. Well tackled there by Harry Ellis. Griffin can dig it out. Here come Italy again. Pes for himself. Oh, that's wonderfully covered by Martin Corrie. Moody goes down. England will clear their lines, but that is the best attack of the game, and it came from Italy. That touched an Italian finger, so Griffin wanted to bounce too much.
It's all in front.
It's very neatly done by the
White players in front of the kicker.
Italian scrum half, but England are offside. Well, I think it was touched.
There seemed to be a sound. There seemed to be a sound, but the referee's made his decision. What I don't understand from that is that you can't be within 10. You've got to retire if you're within 10. But once a player has run 5 metres, then all bets are off. But a good start from Italy up front. They look confident. They've taken it to England in a way, as I say, that Wales didn't do, and they said, well, look, these are your strengths. We're going to at least match you here, so you're not going to be able to dominate us. And particularly in the scrummage, 2 very good scrummages.
Just noticed, Brian, inside the 22, both outside halves have tried that little kick. It's a new trend in the rugby union game, this lack of fear of kicking as an attacking option inside the 22. Of course, they use it a lot in rugby league.
Yeah, the difference in rugby league is, though, if you get caught in goal, you have to drop out from under the post. It's not the same here.
On white throw.
Ramiro Pes with this kick to open Italy's account and to put the first points on the board in the match. Ben Cohen kept his eye on the post.
Well, I suppose you could say that was as near as possible, but Italy, to have any real chance of beating England, all these things have got to go over, all the chances have got to be taken, and that wasn't a difficult kick, especially from that angle for a left-footed kicker.
Well taken, Paul Griffin, under the rushing presence, as ever, of Lewis Moody.
You're okay.
That's sweetly struck by Pes, although it might be overcooked. If that
Probably
goes
too
out
struck, yeah.
England will be able to go all the way back upfield and have the scrimmage where
Option.
Pes struck the ball.
Scrum, obviously.
Well, obviously deciding to try and play a territorial game at that particular juncture, but not if you execute things like that.
Pierre Belvizier, France's scrum half, way back.
This will be interesting on England's ball if Italy will take it to them and try and get a shove on it. A lot of this, depends on the back row. Depends whether they've got their heads down scrimmaging or whether they're looking to see what the options are defensively. Of course, on their own ball, they just get down and shove, so you've got all the power.
Carlos Nieto against Andrew Sheridan, and well, Italy have won themselves a free kick here. And it would appear, Brian, that Italy are having a real go at the English scrimmage.
Yes, they are. I don't really understand this from referee Deaker. He said, you've just come down, crash. Well, that's what you're supposed to do when you engage in a scrum.
Well caught by Tom Voice. He couldn't make the mark because he was outside his 22.
Nothing there. Nothing there.
Mike Tyndall with the clearance. But, well, it's good pressure from Italy in these opening 11 minutes.
Yes, it is. And it's a good test for England. These sort of, it's test match rugby, and whilst Italy haven't done that well in terms of number of wins, they have for prolonged periods of time in all their games actually, competed very fiercely.
You're at the front. He's receiver.
Fabio Ongaro with the throw. Just checking the call there with Marco Bortolami, number 5, the captain.
He's still at receiver position, and therefore always shoved there as well.
Seemed to be at a shoving. Good work by England, though, not to get caught.
Stay here. Stay. Wait, no. Wait, stay here.
Hodgson.
Waiting in front, 6.
Nitolia to Stoica.
Leave him.
Well, it's got plenty of height.
We back off white play.
That didn't go forward. Off Mark Cueto. Voice. Good tackle by Delapé.
Stay last. Down.
Sheridan again trying to make some
12, come out.
hard yards. Stoica. Sergio Parise, the number 8. There's a big white wall in front of him. Well, now, this could open up for Tom Voice if the bounce is kind. Tom Voice, that's a good tackle by little Ludo Nitolia.
Well, he did well there not to overcommit himself, because if Voice had got through the first line, he would, he could well have been aware. That's an awful kick.
There's not much outside Charlie Hodgson there. That's why he took it on himself. Mark Cueto has swapped wings, but it's still Hodgson. And as ever, Paul Griffin is back. He's very industrious.
Waiting, blue, come to him.
Could be danger here, a lot of room.
Corrie, Voice inside him. Cueto switches. There's Danny Grucock. Oh, sorry, Steve Borthwick. That's gone forward, though. England a little bit careless around these mauls that becomes ruck when they become rucks. Austin.
Yes, Eddie, I think we're seeing such an open game at the minute because these mitre balls are very difficult to kick, so the team, both sides, are finding it increasingly difficult to find touch, and that's going to suit Italy a bit more if the game opens up and take away England's structure from set piece.
Scrum has gone down on this side.
I understand what Austin is saying is a technical point is probably valid, but don't they practice with mitre balls if they're going to play with it?
Well, I tell you, I'm just thinking that the grass is very, very short here as well, so the ball bounces a lot more.
Stay bounce, even White.
That's still a good Italian. Oh, that's not great from Paris, but Griffin, that's very good clearing up work by the scrum half.
Hey, from the back too, White. Leave them.
Oh, there's a bit going off between the hookers. You lot, you hookers.
Leave it out, you two.
They'll have been, got about a political discourse, I think.
Number 1. I remember.
Fabio Ongaro, sorry. He's a tough little cookie, and he's doing well at the scrum, and maybe that's what is frustrating Steve Thompson.
Well, the Italian scrum has held up very, very well indeed at the moment.
Stay where we are, Blue. Don't come back.
Nieto is doing well against Sheridan. England at the moment haven't been able to establish any sort of real pattern. They've not really had the territory to do so either.
Receivers at the back. You're in.
Well taken by Danny Grucock. First chance for England to set up the power drive from the line out. Lewis Moody to Ellis, back to Moody. Wonderful combination between the Leicester players. And then Mark Cueto appeared.
Right on the side.
Very fluid play up that far touchline.
On the side.
Quickly taken by Ellis. Trouble for Italy here. Support from Joe Worsley. Hodgson. Danny Grucock.
A lot of room out left.
Hodgson. Cueto. There's numbers outside, including Jamie Noon, who goes into the ruck now.
Yes.
Hodgson. One-on-one. Cohen. Back to Hodgson. Parise with the tackle. The support from Canavosio, the right winger. Penalty to England. Santiago de la Pe, offside.
Number 4, offside.
Well, if I were England, I'd take the points at the moment, settle things down. Some fantastic play previously by Lewis Moody, doing exactly what Jeremy Guscott was asking him to do just before the game, linking twice with his club colleague. And indeed, with a little bit more support, England could have finished that off.
Over there? Yes. They push the jumper.
Andy Good is warming up on the touchline. Here's Charlie Hodgson.
I've blown time off.
I can't tell whether he's grimacing there because of the number of players on top of him, or whether he got hurt as he went down.
I've blown time off. You've got to wait.
I think that's a penalty for being off your feet, quite apart from being offside anyway. He's being asked to shove this in the corner.
Yeah.
Time's on.
Andy Good has put his tracksuit top back on, so there won't be a replacement. And Charlie Hodgson puts England down in a very good position, a 5-metre line out.
How much will you put on me for a catch and drive?
Oh, not a lot really.
A euro?
It's just who's going to be the target.
Wait for him to come down.
Danny Grucock at 2, Martin Corrie standing at 4, and behind him Steve Borthwick. Steve Borthwick the target maybe?
No, he's sitting
no ball.
He's prefacing a support position, but that's often a ruse. The thing with Martin Corrie and the option he gives you, though, is he has got very good hands in the line out.
2 balls, 20. Time's on.
It'll be interesting to see what Italy do on this defensive line out. Up goes Joe Worsley. In comes Danny Grucock, and here comes the drive. It's going towards the touchline. England have it reset though.
He's come through, he's fine. Yes.
Corrie has the ball. Now it's a ruck.
Stay here, stay last.
Just another foot nearer the goal line.
Stay last, Blue.
Grucock. He'll have to go back a little bit. In comes Joe Worsley though.
Stay, Blue, go.
Matt Stevens. sort of rather backed into trouble there and got sat on top of the players left at the ruck.
Trying to recreate the more, but the difficulty is when it's at this stage you can just pull things down because it comes into a tackle. There's no problem with pulling a tackle down.
Matt Stevens 3. Good defence by Italy.
The ball's up, the ball's still up.
Ball still up in the air. Ongaro drives in. Lewis Moody now has the ball. Harry Ellis digs it out.
England got a penalty.
Ellis goes on his own. Be interesting to see
Number
what...
2! Yes, on the ground.
Ongaro, the hooker, has been penalised. They've taken it from the wrong spot.
Yes, I noticed, yes.
Isn't that a scrum? Did you do that?
Yeah, you'd think, wouldn't you? Take it from the wrong spot, scrum.
Right here.
Hands on the ball, we can play.
Yes, you have been. Fine, yes. But the tackler was still holding.
But whatever you have to say, Eddie, was good defence and tenacious tackling, close quarters by the Italians.
Got the back again.
They are going for the line out and presumably drive again.
I don't know, they may vary this off the top, but Harry Ellis is not in the receiver position at the moment.
Steve Borthwick with the catch this time. On comes the drive. This one it crabs the other way towards the post. Lewis Moody, Ellis outside him. Harry Ellis can't get it down. Italy have turned it over illegally. 14. It was.
I tell you, I think England were lucky there because if you watch, Harry Ellis gets stuck on the line. I think he held on. He was isolated. England starting off with the drive.
Pablo Cannavasio was penalised, and he was the one that gave away the earlier one. And England are back at this 5-metre line-out. We've had a bit of Joe Worsley catching. We've had Steve Borthwick. Who's the target this time?
I think maybe they need to shift drive this, catch the ball in one position, pass it a bit down the line, then set, and then go.
Danny Grucock. They've gone for the drive on the catcher. Now, is it shifting this time? Not really yet. Kelvin Dika hasn't said you've got 5 seconds to use it. Trying to edge towards the blind side. England for the goal line.
Yes. I was too late getting here. Time is off. Yes, I was too late getting here. Going to the TV.
He's gone for the replay because he said he was too late getting there.
For the grounding. The ball was over the line.
Yep, Kelvin Simon here. I can understand you. Give me a moment, I'll have a look.
Cheers. Thank you.
Well, it's a very frank admission, wasn't it, that he didn't get there in time, so couldn't see. Well, from that angle, I can't see either.
Just that last one, I was pretty happy.
What about this angle? Ball. Well, that's not apparent either. What was the decision that the referee gave? Did he say it was held up and he couldn't see? Because if it's not conclusive, then he'll have to go with his decision, which would be held up over the line. Well, I strongly suspect that that's a try, but I don't think you can actually definitively say from that angle, even with those super pictures and slow-mo, that definitely touched the ground.
Martin Corrie with the ball. It's short still, and then it disappears from view.
Exactly. As I say, I strongly suspect that is a try, but the TMO is going to find that difficult. This is a better angle, I think. Well, even from here, that's... Well, I bet he scored, but I would also bet that they'll play safe, and it'll be an England scrum.
You still there, Simon?
England haven't gone away from the scene of the incident, which suggests that, well, maybe they don't seem sure themselves.
Simon.
We're just waiting here.
I can't hear him.
The referee can't hear anything.
He couldn't see, and now he can't hear.
Well, he's a referee.
All I'm getting is nothing.
Deeks,
Yes.
Simon here. The ball's held up in goal.
It's held up.
Scrum out 5.
Big scrum 5. Thank you, bud. Cheers.
Well, to be honest, Eddie, I don't think you could tell that was definitely held up in goal either, but I think that in the end, it was inevitable because there's nothing conclusive there. The referee said he was too late, didn't see it, and nothing was conclusive to change that from any of those replays.
So, Italy survived the line-out pressure, and it was big pressure from England, and this time England go for the scrummage plus drive. Italy have done well so far. Ellis to Hodgson, Ben Cohen into midfield from the left wing, and Italy get the penalty, and you can just hear the reaction of the Italian players to have withstood all that England pressure.
Well, it was inordinate amount to defend 3 very close drives, which they did well, time after time tackling, and that's a moral victory, if nothing else, for the Italians, but I suspect they'll have to do rather a lot more of that later on in the game.
We're into the second quarter of the game. No score on the board. Italy have hit the post with a penalty. England have had a period of pressure on the Italian line, but it's still 0-0.
One of England's problems really has been that because of the way they've driven, there's not been successive phases. A couple of times there have been penalties, people caught in possession or isolated, and they've compounded that by a quite obvious penalty, actually.
Well, there was a feeling that England take this little half pace across at the line-out, and they're very good at it because they do it in such a coordinated fashion that nobody is left on their own. If you all do it together, it's hard for the referee to pick up, but Kelvin Dika did nab them on that occasion.
Difficult to tell from that angle, but anyway, it doesn't matter because the referee's given the decision, and Italy, for the first time in a while actually, are in England territory. That's a good
Sergio
catch.
Parise to Mauro Bergamasco. Here's Mirko Bergamasco. Oh, forward pass and knock on by Stoica, but well, that's pretty inventive. The Bergamasco boys very much involved in that. Advantage being played. Hodgson, and now then, this could be interesting. Joe Worsley drives it up and then is then driven backwards.
Come back.
No advantage.
No advantage. Scrum.
Well, although he just takes his eyes off that, doesn't he, looking at Mike Tyndall. One of the difficulties there, the ball went in and out, but it was done a long way away, and none of the England defenders were really fixed.
Get a squared on you too. We got a squared on
Jerry,
you.
that wasn't a bad little attempt at a move.
Yeah, the Italians are giving or causing England a few problems. It's good to see because England aren't trying too much. I'm surprised that most of the England backline I thought would be balled by now because the forwards were taking that ball and cuddling it up, not giving them a chance. So I think Hodgson needs to boss that situation a bit more.
Like the old days, Jerry.
Yeah, except myself and Will aren't there, or Rob.
Here they are. There's Charlie Hodgson. He hasn't seen much of the ball at all, has he? The old forwards have stuck it up the jumper.
That is true, although you have to say, I mean, England's principal pressure from those 3 were from the penalties, but apart from that, they haven't had particularly good field position.
Good scrummage by England. A bit scrappy at the end there with the release, but Mark Cueto putting his left boot to that ball.
Out of 10 blue.
Paolo Canavosio put it way downfield. Charlie Hodgson will try and usher that, but it won't go over the dead ball line. 20 should drop out. It's not bad. It means Italy remain down in England, in the England half.
I think, Eddie, the way that Italy have played thus far simply reinforces the fact that their good performance last week was not a flash in the pan, and that they've substantially improved.
Good following up work by Ben Cohen and Lewis Moody, and again Paul Griffin. Oh, he hasn't done that well. He had to hang on to it.
Holding first player here. Holding.
Well, he's done a good covering job. On that occasion, he was a little bit isolated, unfortunately for him, but he's done a lot of work around the back, cleaning things up.
He's very busy, isn't he? And of course, he's filling the boots of Alessandro Troncon, who was a fixture in the Italian scrum half position for, well, almost a decade, really. But Griffin, I saw him play at Cardiff with Calvisano, and he does an enormous amount of work every time he plays. Steve Thompson with the throw. Steve Borthwick makes sure the call is clear. There goes Borthwick, this time off the top for the backs. Mike Tyndall through Parisse, Tyndall for the line, gets away from everybody, try for England.
Well, they ran straight through the gap there. Pablo Canavosio was up into the line and he failed to do his job. Good ball off the top here. Watch the fly after number 14 there inside. Well, if he's not going to tackle someone, there's no point in him being there at all.
Okay, but it wasn't the best tackle by Sergio Parisse, the big number 8. The angle is good from Tyndall, but that's not the best by Parisse.
No. And in fact, the culpability between the two, it was far more on the number 8 because he was closer.
Just like to see it again, to see what Lewis Moody's up to in the background. Charlie Hodgson for 2 more. Very good. England 7-0 in the lead here at the Stadio Flaminio.
Does Lewis Moody get in the way? I don't think he does, no. He gets the number 8 from Italy, Parisse. He had enough. He had a full shot at him and he simply slid away. It's a good line from Tyndall, but that's a soft trying Test match rugby.
Jerry?
Yeah, it's good to see. It's surprised it's taken so long for them to go down that channel that John Kerwin talked about that would be weak, and now they've exploited it, and I think we might see a few more of Noon and Tyndall going down there.
Hodgson, that's not the longest clearance. Do you think, Brian, England drilled them all, went for it again, and then suddenly the change throws the defence?
Well, not really, because from there was no real opportunity to drive it over the line. They had there was enough space, but it's a simple case of poor tackling, isn't it? It was a good line from Tyndall and he did run hard, but to run straight through an international number 8 like that, not acceptable.
Go away now, too.
Carlos Nieto wins a line out at the tail, and hooker Fabio Ongaro takes the ball forward. Italy need to respond quickly. Pez, Gonzalo Canale has dropped the ball. Advantage England. Ellis to Mark Cueto. Good adventure by Cueto. Martin Corrie, Steve Thompson outside him. It's a long way for the hooker to go, so he kicks it forward. Stoica. Canavosio. That's not bad, actually. Behind Cohen, bounces everything, and it favours Italy.
Well, good recovery. Interesting bit of adventure there. It's a shame for England in a sense that it was Steve Thompson on the wing and not Tom Voice. Does well, Coyle straightens, he pulls him man in, leaves it one-on-one, and
they're all here.
Well, Steve Thompson wasn't going to go the length, but this is a good recovery by Italy, making ground again.
We'll have a delay. Matt Stevens is down injured.
If you come into the line,
I think a lot of our comments are prefaced by the natural assumption that England have a God-given right to win this game and to roll over Italy, etc., etc. And I don't think that is right. And
well, they have won 11 out of 11.
Yes, in terms of an actual win, but the style in which it is happening, they're going to have to scrap in the same way that they have to do in every other game. And if they take the foot off the pedal, or if they don't keep focused up front, they have no God-given right to go forward, and they need to carry on doing the work.
No. Steve Thompson, there's Matt Stevens back on his feet. Steve Thompson, a throw inside his 22. They have to be careful here. Steve Borthwick does well.
Can't understand why there was no Italian jump there at all. You may as well sell yourself there.
Stay now, Blue.
Slow ball, but England are in their own 22. Now then, that's a little knock forward there. I don't know what Danny Grucock was really picking the ball up there for Harry Ellis. It seemed a little unnecessary, didn't
Well,
it?
it's twice now.
Yeah.
And a similar result each time.
Catch and hold. Wait for them, Blue.
Although you see, Nieto on this near side for Italy has done well, and he's done well again. Look, he's got inside Sheridan again.
Oh.
Although that's been good work by Worsley, but
That was just a rebound, wasn't it? Just a rebound.
See, front row did all the work, back row mess it up for you.
Canavosio takes the catch well. That's there for Italy. Right winger did well. Pez. Stoica from fullback, drifting across a bit. Canale. Tom Voice is back, but 5-metre throw for England, really. But, well, Italy have responded to the try by attacking.
Well, there's no real room there, so it was the only option available. But it was well executed, wasn't it? And let's see if Italy decide this time to challenge for the ball. England have pulled it down, as is customary, onto a short line out, so I think this is going to go long, because they've got the advantage, because they're only 5 metres away, and indeed it does.
Martin Corrie takes the catch.
Stay, Blue. 3 white, come out of it. Yes.
Hodgson.
No, wait.
Infield.
Back.
Nitolia. Ooh, Moody, good tackle.
Well, that's something he does very well, isn't it?
No.
But who's coming in?
Roll clear, please. Too slow. Must roll clear quicker.
Penalty
Thanks, Stephen.
against England.
Was
that against Lewis Moody?
I don't think so. Although, well, let's see. To be honest, I couldn't see from here, but we'll probably see on the replay.
So I saw the ball.
That's the distance for Ramiro Pes as the night starts to fall here in Rome.
Let's have a look. That's a good tackle by Lewis Moody. He's got to roll away there.
I think he was trying to get away, Brian, don't you think? He sort of got caught.
Yeah, he was trying to get away, and he did get caught. But I mean, in the wider scheme of things, I think you've got to give the benefit of the doubt to the attacking player, because a tackler chooses where he wants to put his body, in the tackle, and if he gets caught after that, he's a little unlucky. Let's be fair.
Pes strikes it very sweetly this time. Hit the post with his first, through the middle with his second. Italy reduce England's lead to 4 points.
Well, the game going, very much as I thought it would. Italy performing well up front and not really threatening the line, but managing to kick the goals when they come.
Oh, that's very well taken by Mirko Bergamasco.
No, stay, White, stay. Stay last.
Pes back in the pocket for this kick. Oh, hasn't gone far enough or high enough, and here's Mark Cueto. Ben Cohen. Using Danny Grukos as a shield. Referee lets England get away with it.
Didn't obstruct anyone, that's why.
Ellis. Hodgson. Well done, Tom Voice, to find Jamie Tyndall outside him. Oh, that's Tyndall here now, sorry. Now then, a chance for big Danny Grukop to raise his knees in the middle of the park. Andrew Sheridan. Good clearing work by Matt Stevens. Moody caught in possession though. And Italy survive another bit of pressure. Oops, there Sergio Parisse.
Yeah, it's fine.
Good pass. Canavosio. Steve Thompson makes a smothering tackle. Might be a chance here if Italy can get it wide. Stoica. Josh Solé, the New Zealand raised flanker. Pez. And in the end, the kick is the crowd give it a cheer, but after such a good handling movement, seems a bit disappointing.
Yeah, well, this is a problem for Italy, isn't it? They've not really got that much of a cutting edge outside, and when England are counting well, which they are doing, they're not finding space. They're being forced to put these little kicks in, and whilst they look good, England's line-out has not really been under pressure.
Italy have been here before, and England have coped with it very well.
Having said that, it plays the game at the right end of the field, doesn't it, for Italy? England have got a long way to go. England perfect record, 11-0.
Sergio Parisse is trying to cut out that long throw, perhaps marking Matt Stevens at the tail. Steve Thompson goes short. Steve Borthwick, he's had a very good line-out today. Had a very good line-out performance against Wales in the first game.
Still in, he's bound in. There he's out. Wait.
Charlie Hodgson keeps the ball in play. Stoica. Moody again makes a tackle. The assist by Tyndall. Jamie Noon just calling England out on this side of the ruck, and England have it covered pretty well. Parisse cuts back inside, shrugs off Lewis Moody. That takes some doing.
Stay last, white 6. 7, sorry.
Pez. Stoica. Bergamasco inside him, but this is Natolia.
Wasn't held, he got up 5.
Good tackle by Steve Borthwick on Natolia. And the little 11-stone wing presents it for Griffin. Pez for 3 points. And Stavio Flaminio says that is good. England's lead just 1 point now.
Well, a good reward for Italian pressure, their patience as well, keeping the ball, and a sweetly struck drop goal that was, but it is a reward for a lot of the hard work done by the forwards, being patient, continually recycling ball.
Up goes Delapé, knocks it back. Ongaro takes on Steve Thompson. Thompson did well to put him in touch. Thompson takes it quickly. And Steve Borthwick.
Not very straight either.
And it wasn't terribly straight either.
So why, if you try that and it doesn't go in straight, why do England have another chance?
I don't know, is the answer. That's the referee, that. It was interesting to see as he mirrored my exact words of it wasn't terribly straight either.
Across, blue!
But anyway...
Get! Blue!
Oops. It's Harry Ellis. Joe Worsley opens up for Worsley. Bergamasco just gets back in time. Moody to Danny Grucock. Harry Ellis. Hodgson. Ben Cohen.
Play.
Tom Voice.
Yes.
Hodgson tries to go in his own. Mauro Bergamasco with another good tackle. Sheridan.
Go 12.
Mirko Bergamasco made the tackle. Moody just goes over the top to make another meter.
5 blue.
Joe Worsley. Carlos Nieto with the tackle. Grucock again.
It's not very quick ball though, is it? Last 4 or 5 England possessions have been slow.
Hodgson for 3 himself. Wide. 22-metre dropout.
I will still do the kick. Still do the kick.
Injury down on the field. Italy will want a breather here. That's the kick that went wide. The drop goal attempt by Charlie Hodgson.
Well, let's see where it went. Yes, it does go left by a good 2 or 3 yards. And one of the problems with Hodgson there was, England had battered on a number of occasions. The ball had come back slow, and when it came back to him, really, it was slowed down sufficiently for him to think, well, this time, I have no real option but to try and slot it through the middle.
Ben Cohen to Tom Voice. Hodgson. Only down the throat of Christian Stoica.
He's okay, he was inside and his foot's on the line. On the line.
Last minute of the first half. Italy will be... well, they'll be very pleased with this, won't they?
Yes, and so they should be, because they've competed in all the important areas, and England have failed to find any fluidity.
Floodlights are on. Darkness settling all around. It becomes an even more picturesque setting under floodlights.
Blue gap!
It's a beautiful stadium anyway, isn't it?
Well, stay out, I want you out. Go out, receiver.
The England line-out has been very good. And not that Italy have really challenged that strongly on the England throw. Danny Grucock and Steve Borthwick have had clean jumps, unopposed.
Move it forward, move it forward, move it forward.
One of the problems already, in contrast to what Scotland did with their line-out possession last week, when they managed to create dynamic drives and therefore quick ball. England, despite all their line-out superiority, really have not been able to do that, and the Italians therefore have been able to stick in this sort of defensive situation and not being split.
We're into overtime. The clock has gone into the red. At the next breakdown, the ref will blow for half-time. Stoica made that ball his.
Head away, 12 white!
Italy have numbers,
Stay here left.
as England have got dropped 2 back into deep positions, anticipating this clearance. That will be half-time. And without being in the lead, Italy will take a lot from this. At the Stadio Flaminio at half-time, it's Italy 6, England 7.
Let's go.
Second half of the RBS match in Rome between Italy and England. England with a 1-point lead, and that's terrible misunderstanding. Surely there was a bit of
offside, wasn't it?
Offside there. Yeah, referee goes. Brian.
Well, ball goes forward. If a man in front plays it, is he in front? Well, he's in front there.
Wait for the call.
Accidental.
Actually, I thought, did it hit his... Well, even if it's his knee.
Now, good, solid Italian scrummage. Paul Griffin feeds Ramiro Pes. Pes on his own, show and go. Gonzalo Canali took it in support. Here's Pes again. Nitolia, Stoica to Canavosio. Italian pressure right on England's line. Italy really up for this. Pes. Sergio Parise, Pes on the loop. Mirko Bergamasco smashed by Martin Corrie. Pes back in the pocket for the drop goal. It's good. Italy take the lead in Rome. What a start to the second half.
Well, from England's point of view, very poor indeed, not dealing with simple restart. There was a 2-on-1 for Italy, out wide. He didn't put that away, but he did put that one straight through the middle.
I'm not sure how strict that was through the middle. It was pretty close, wasn't it?
It was near enough.
Okay, now then Italy have to get this right, and they've made a bit of a hash of the restart. Mauro Bergamasco. That's good skills from the open side wing forward.
Well, they did recover very well there, but it does show, doesn't it? Very important things. Restart sets the tone of a game more than anything else. England, no communication between the receiving player, who was Harry Ellis, Martin Corrie, who might have been a receiver, and
real width. Sorry, Brian. Real width to this England attack. Mark Cueto is right on the far side from this line out.
Which suggests to me it's going to be one of the picks in the corner, yes.
Not yet. Well driven up by Mike Tyndall. Ellis to Hodgson. Infield to Matt Stevens. Good charge by the Bath prop. Sheridan steps over him, and Grucock has the ball. Slips it to Lewis Moody. Steve Borthwick takes it on. This is England's response, and it's Encouraging in its own right, Danny Grucock cuts back in field and then makes the offload off the ground to Lewis Moody. Ellis, England stuck in this blind side. Mike Tindall for the line. Good Italian defence. Ball still in play. Not now.
In the scrum.
England will have the put in at the scrimmage.
Scrum.
Doesn't quite get there. Good defence by the Italians.
That's good.
Santiago Della Pei very much involved in this tackle. Parise at first.
Added his considerable weight there, Della Pei, and very tibious it was as well. Oh, there's a knock on there, surely. The ball went down.
He did, didn't he? Mike Tindall dropped that.
And the pause, right, yeah. And the pause,
We're right in that corner. And it's Harry Ellis of England to feed the scrum.
Right wide left as well for England.
It's gone down. Reset, still white.
Set piece in this near corner, but right on the far side. Brian's right.
There he is, right on the touchline for the option for the cross kick. What that does for the Italians is it means that the winger can't drift in.
Yeah, that will.
Which may in turn create space at the outside centre position.
His hands there.
There's Ben Cohen, 50th cap today, and he'll be wanting the ball to come his way. Perhaps not straight away, little back row move, do you think, just to tie things up?
I don't know, I don't think so. Maybe a grubber kick for Cueto, because Cueto is standing off the shoulder of Mike Tindall. But Ben Cohen is an expert really at these sort of things. He's done it time and time again. The cross kicks, tall man.
That's Mark Cueto in the middle of the park. Ben Cohen on the far side. Options for England right across the field. Of course, the forwards might decide to take it on themselves.
Wait for him on here.
Salvatore Perugini is fit again. England half spin it. Did that go through 90 degrees?
No.
Well, the referee has given that it's gone down, so he hasn't done that, which is unfortunate for England, because if it hadn't gone down, it would indeed be the Italian put-in.
Went down.
England have the put-in again. They've spent a lot of time at set-piece work 5 metres from the Italian goal line. Gets themselves a free kick. That's not taken from the right spot, and Paul Griffin wasn't 10 metres, so it's all going on here. England try to get some tempo into the game. Now they're trailing. Lewis Moody. That's a good tackle by Parise. Danny Grucock had a lot of ball carrying duties today. Thompson inside. Ellis again. Hodgson. Jamie Noon crashes forward. The forwards pick up and drive through Sheridan. Good Italian defence again.
Cueto is right on his own out here again.
Here it comes.
Wingers are right.
Mauro Bergamasco against Cueto. Cueto knocks it on. Nothing will count. Lewis Moody is on the floor. The whistle has gone, so that's just a little bit of afters. Well, it was a long time coming, Brian, but it came, that cross kick.
Well, it had been prefaced several times on either wing. You can see there, one-on-one. You would usually back Cueto to win this, and indeed he does win the jump, but can't quite gather it.
Now, Italy had defended that quite well because they'd left a tall flanker out there. So they were aware of the threat, but that was a good leap by Mark Cueto. So Paul Griffin feeds a scrum 5 metres out. Parise has to pick up. Good pressure from the England tight five. Stoica. Well, Italy scramble it away. They've made, what, 12 metres?
Well, although you use the word scrambling there, it's well, Italy there, you can see you've had do a lot more tackling, but they've done that well.
Plenty of time.
And more importantly, under pressure situations like that scrum, they've managed to clear the ball.
That's an incredible statistic. 74 tackles against 24. Here come England again. Italy will have to make more tackles. Marquetto off his wing. Moody. The charge by Danny Grucock. Half through the tackle.
Stay last, boys, stay last.
England have got the whole width of the field again. This time they feed Tom Voice, who's up against Bergamasco, the second row, and the Italian captain did well to make the tackle. Ellis will switch again. No, he won't. He comes out into the open. Mike Tyndall. Hodgson. Thompson outside him. Hodgson for the line! Inches short. Charlie Hodgson ghosted through the gap, and England still have possession. And they have numbers, and it's going to be a try, surely. They can't breach the last gasp Italian defence. England still have numbers on the left.
Oh, it's too slow. He's turned it over.
Italy have turned it over. England have wasted an opportunity. Paul Griffin, that hasn't found touch.
That's poor. He really needed to relieve pressure there.
It's turned out okay for Italy. Cueto, good tackle by Bergamasco the younger. Joe Worsley on the ground. Bortolami.
It's number 5 on the side.
Well, there's no offside line just from a tackle, so I don't quite see that. If there's no maul formed there, he's entitled to go in.
First player there has to go back round, though, doesn't he? He can't come in from the side. There was such an overlap, wasn't there?
There was. Good work by Ongaro, though. Problem for England at the moment is the ball just is not quite quick enough. The spaces, although the Italians are defending well close, the spaces actually are in the outside centre full-back channel, and they're not spotting them.
This to put England back in the lead. Johnny Hodgson puts England back into the lead. It's only by 1 point. Andy Robinson. Well, they had a terrible start to the second half, but they have responded positively and have camped themselves on the Italian line, and that's their reward. A penalty and the lead.
Important for England here to catch this, drive it, not let any light in for Italy.
Martin Corrie waits under it. Sole made the follow-up tackle. Here goes Danny Grucock. That's a good tackle by Mauro Bergamasco. Ellis. Sole again puts the pressure on.
England have to up the tempo here. Got to get quicker ball.
Well, Italy made the start, but England have had just about all the plays since then. Fabio Ongaro. Sergio Parisse at the tail. Gonzalo Canale, Stoica had to ride the challenge. Joe Worsley had lined him up and tore up on him. Italy still in possession though. Pes has gone straight behind Griffin, and England drop back for the kick. That's one for Tom Voice to catch, which he does.
Strict from the kick, was the ball first, the ball to ground.
Tyndall cuts back through Delapé. Good strong run by Mike Tyndall. Now then, Thompson has numbers outside him. One of them's Lewis Moody. Harry Ellis.
Get with him, double right.
Tackled by Nieto.
Ball's clear, play.
Marco Bortolami, the captain, picks up. Turnover ball for Italy. And the penalty. It's Lewis Moody who's been penalised.
Straight to the side, number 7.
Well, Paul Griffin's shouting for the ball there, but he'd be better off just waiting and relieving some of the territorial pressure that England have been exerting on them. Get the ball down into England territory because the Italian line-out's been functioning, and then give them the platform.
Lawrence Dallaglio not warming up yet.
Time is still on, we go to touch.
That bench looks pretty empty. Oh, he's taken himself away from the others. Matt Dawson, James Simpson-Daniel. Meanwhile, on the field, Italy haven't really made that much ground.
That's simply not good enough, really, from Stoicher. I mean, he's made, what, 12, 13 yards there.
White, let's have a look first. Again, stay White, get. Push it. Just push over, whole pace, White, right through. Right through
Kelvin
the back.
Deacon trying to make sure England keep the gap. Just keep an eye on the Whites step across. There they go. Bergamasco puts it down to Perugini. Delapé drives on.
Thank you.
Pez to Mirko Bergamasco. Nitolia. The little 11-stoner did well to keep that alive. Parise rides the tackle of Matt Stevens and goes on.
Took them all, Blue.
Pez. Mauro Bergamasco against Charlie Hodgson. Martin Corrie there to help.
Stay two.
Quick enough ball. Paul Griffin perhaps didn't take the right option there. There was nothing really up the blind side, and England have regained possession.
Stay behind him.
I don't think there was much didn't about that. A poor option.
Waiting White. Yes.
That's gone over Nitolia's head. Well, that's not a bad kick at all. Matt Dawson is ready to come onto the field. The first of the England substitutions. And on he goes. Harry Ellis comes off.
Well, I think one of the things that may well have brought Dawson on his for is to try and pep the work rate up. He will snipe on his own as well and offer something for their back row to have to actually look at. But really the problem is slightly further up, with England not getting enough successive phase quick ball.
England scramble for the ball and win it. Jamie Noon. Joe Worsley. Oh, good run by Worsley against Mirko Bergamasco. Fresh impetus from England. Charlie Hodgson is through. And that will come as huge relief for England. But what a spurt of energy by England. It suddenly went up 3 gears.
Well, as soon as England got quick ball, the gaps appeared. Joe Worsley, immense physical presence, bouncing players off, but more importantly, the ball came back quickly, and that allowed Charlie Hodgson to exploit the gap. Watch here, although he gets over the gain line, watch the speed of this ball now. Bang, it's over quick. The winger caught in 2 minds. He had 3 players to cover, and Charlie Hodgson being well, you've got to go low with Worsley. You can't stay high with him. It's too big, too strong.
Matt Dawson's first pass for a try.
And actually
Not quite his first one.
It was Stoicher on the wing, and he had an impossible decision to make. Did he stay in? Did he go out in the end?
Charlie Hodgson converts his own try, and England extend their lead to 8 points.
Worsley surging forward, quick ball. Hodgson doing well, but again, it's not a great tackle. Not a great attempt to the tackle, should I say.
Italy are going to ring changes here.
By number 10, Charlie Hodgson.
Santiago Delate is going off. Carlo Del Fava is coming on.
Fine.
And Silvio Orlando as well. So changes in the pack.
L'Italia sono usciti con il numero 4 Santiago Delate,
Hey, don't
6 Josh Sole, sono entrati con il numero 19 Carlo Antonio Del Fava e con il numero 20 Aaron Persico.
It's Aaron Persico who's come on. And Martin Castrogiovanni, one of the props as well. So
Wait, Stephen.
Italy need fresh legs as England seem to have taken control.
Yeah, I think we saw from the try there exactly why Matt Dawson's been brought on. Harry played tirelessly, both in attack and defence whilst he was on, but he was slow coming to the breakdowns. Dawson's come on, picked up the pace of England's ball, and we've seen what England can do with that ball. They've scored a good try, and Dawson will be looking to add that experience throughout the remainder of the game.
I do also wonder how prescient John Cohen's comments at half-time will be, because Italy have had to make 3-1 tackles against England, and they look as though they're tiring.
They've picked off an Italian throw, but Mirko Bergamasco kicks through on loose ball. Voice turns in field and nearly runs into real trouble, but that's good strength by England's fullback. Got himself in a pickle and got himself out of it. Tyndall straightens, great offload from Tyndall to Worsley. Worsley bashing off tacklers, missed pass to Marquetto from Hodgson. England offloading at will. No, that's a wonderful pass from Moody to Matt Stevens.
Correct now, stay blue.
Matt Dawson waits. Worsley again, suddenly come into his own. Sheridan. Moody again. Dawson waits. Tyndall.
Winger's fine, no winger.
Over Nitolia's shoulder. That will go out of play for a scrum back.
Touch and go. Options. Scrum.
Well, England have not really had, many successive phases of play, and I think the ones that they do now, they just need to keep concentrating on trying to get quicker and quicker ball.
Scrum.
Jerry?
Yeah, we saw from the try, players from depth coming at pace, big guys, Joe Worsley smashing into the Italian defence. More of that, please.
Just have a feeling, Brian, that something has changed out there. There's a new dynamic to England's play. Italy getting tired. It's almost as if they've rushed fresh legs on.
Well, this is the beauty of having the strength of the bench that England have got. World Cup winners to come on, experienced players.
And that scrum doesn't look quite as comfortable as it did in the first half.
It doesn't, but I have to say, it's come to perform very well.
Scratch and hold.
Carlos Nieto deserves a lot of credit for the amount of work he's put in today.
Engage!
England just get the little nudge on engagement. Parise feeds Griffin. Pez.
Wait. You're right. Yeah, fine.
Well, it's ground for Italy, but England will have the throw.
Time. 14.
Italy's problem with plays like that is that simply they divest themselves not only of possession but give England the throw. And England's line-out has been very good today.
Simon Piccone comes on.
Replacement for Italy of number 14, Pablo Canavosio.
Stay there. Go to bed. Yes.
Pablo Canavosio has gone off. And it's up front that England take Italy on again.
8 blue, let's go. Go to the back now. Number 9 to the back. Still a more. Go forward. That's your first one. It's got to go forward.
England through Matt Dawson take the ball away from that maul. Mike Tyndall, forward pass from Lewis Moody.
Well, imprecision there, no reason for that ball to go forward. Tyndall hadn't overrun the ball. Lack of concentration. Simple 2-on-1.
Time off. Injury to Martin Castrogiovanni. There's Lewis Moody. And it's Carlos Nieto who's also injured.
1 and 2.
Well, but he's had a good game today. He's got inside his opposite number, Andy Sheridan, on a lot of occasions, and that's one of the reasons why the Italian scrummagers performed so well.
Andrew Sheridan and Steve Thompson, they go, and on come Lee Mears and Julian White. John Kerwin.
Yeah, I think you're seeing what's happening is the Italians are going down with cramp. They're not faking that. The problem is they need to play week in, week out at a higher level. They're starting to suffer from fatigue, so we need to see them in high competition week in, week out.
That's not a bad scrum by Italy. Not much cramp there.
Yes, I'm looking, yes. Staying in, staying straight. Wait for them. Engage.
Aaron Persico on and Mauro Bergamasco. There's plenty of pace in that Italian back row. Here goes Bergamasco. Parise, good break by Bergamasco. Parise on his left. Persico first there. Griffin digs it out. Pez. Oh, it turned into a good tackle in the end by Tyndall. Turnover ball. England have it.
Good robbing work there by Lewis Moody, a la Richard McCaw.
Charlie Hodgson straight down the middle of the pitch. Christian Stoica. Not a lot of blue shirts coming back to help him, and so Stoica is on his own.
He's going to get penalised if he's not careful. There you are. You only need a fraction in today's game if you don't let go. Referees are going to ping you. As soon as Stoica set off on that run, he was going to be isolated, and that was the inevitable consequence.
Charlie Hodgson has the ball. Christian Stoica took it up, and he's going for goal from, well, 6 inches inside the Italian half. 9 points Italy, 17 England. England seem, Brian, to have grabbed this game now, and
well, I think it's a consequence of the hard work they've done in the first 60 minutes. The Italians are looking tired. They've been made to do a lot of tackling. The more interesting question, I think the England victory is secure, but the more interesting question is what can they do in the last 17 minutes, and how can they stretch, and can they score more tries?
The second time the posts have been rattled in this game. And the second time the ball has gone the wrong side for the side kicking. 17 points to 9. The score remains. Ramiro Pes kicks long. Matt Dawson waits underneath it. Jamie Noon. Dawson again. Hodgson took on a hooker and beat him. Hodgson for himself for his second try. Won't get there.
Well, nearly a piece of individual brilliance there from Charlie Hodgson, but he's looking for gaps, isn't he? And he's finding them. There he is, running it forwards. As soon as he sees that, backs himself, and well, the different bounce of the ball, that may have been a different result.
Time.
Slightly disappointed. Did the first part well, read the situation up against the hooker, beat him, and then the ball beat Charlie.
Yeah, bring him on.
Another stoppage, another Italian player goes down. Fatigue, obviously, a factor.
You're not understanding it.
Taitedo, who's done so much work today. Carlos Nieto coming off. Martin Castrogiovanni coming on.
Wait for the pause.
No, it's not.
He's been waiting some time to come on. And on comes the hooker as well, Carlo Festuccia.
Wait for the pause. Crouch and hold.
Italy started this game with 2 props on the bench.
Stay nice. Crouch and hold, wait for them, and go!
Castrogiovanni up into the propping position. Parise takes it up onto the blind side. Ramiro Pes stoops. It's not a bad clearance. England, though, will presumably win this. And I just wonder whether they fancy that Italian midfield now.
Time, blood!
Piccone alongside Pes and Canali.
Yeah, do it. Well, half the
Joe
guys
Worsley
here
there. He's got a knock. Well, he's got a cut there, so he'll have to come off at least temporarily. And he, in the second half, has been very good. He's
hasn't he?
Not only created the into that try. Well, here he comes. And well, he always gets a good reception, doesn't he? Similar to last week, Lawrence Delalio.
It's only, well, it could be a blood, or I just wonder whether Joe Worsley will come back.
Time's on.
So Martin Corrie and Lawrence Delalio on the field together.
Had a quick chat there, didn't they?
Well taken, Steve Borthwick. Tyndall infield to Ben Cohen. Cohen with Mark Cueto outside him. Cueto for the line, beats Mirko Bergamasco. And the referee awards the try. Thought about the touchdown, but that looked pretty good. And England sweeping ahead.
Italian suggesting that wasn't properly grounded. Looked grounded from here. Anyway, the referee's given it, and he's not going to the TMO. So
just to be sure, TJ and I will have.
Oh yeah, he is going. Well, I thought for a second he said just to be sure, but he's not actually gone up there. He's awarding the try. Mark Cueto 11 and 13.
Good strike rate.
Very good strike rate. Well, 2 there, 2 dummy runners, fixing the inside defence. I mean, he couldn't drift out, and a good line cut.
Yes.
By the winger Cohen, opposite winger, finishing it off.
Fine.
It's just that on that touchdown, if you've got your forearm on the ball,
I think
that was fair enough. It's a beautiful kick by Hodgson. That's magnificent. 5 points becomes 7.
Draws him. Does well. Good pace here now.
Hold.
No, that's a touchdown.
He's gone.
Better angle here. But again, clear touchdown.
Andrea Locicero comes on to replace Salvatore Perugini, so we have an entire change of the front row. Italy reclaim the kickoff, and it's Del Fava who does win it. Paul Griffin, he's still got energy. Parise, Lawrence Delalio makes the tackle.
Hold. 10.
England not 10 at the penalty, and Paul Griffin points to the corner.
And he's right as well. Italy's best chance of scoring is probably from showing this in the corner and driving. They haven't quite shown the cutting edge in the backs, but if they get these right, there's not a lot you can do about them when you're defending them.
I got it. Time's off, Nige. Time is off. Wait. Hold on, Nige.
Here we go, important throw for Carlo Festuccia. England not in any rush to form this lineup, but in fact,
No,
Sergio Parisse is down at the tail.
Time's on.
Oh, they've overthrown it. Martin Corrie picked it off too easily.
Yes. Hey, 19, you're in front.
It's a perfect example of overcomplication, that.
Nitolia. Matt Dawson goes up for it. Good catch by the replacement. A good offload to Voice. And here goes Ben Cohen. Cohen against Stoiker. Takes him on the outside. England still in possession. Persico makes the tackle. Here comes Parisse to Paul Griffin. That's Mauro Bergamasco against Mark Cueto. Little shove from Bergamasco. Cueto has been turned. A lot of bodies piling in there. Italy have the penalty. They'll take it as quickly as they can, although again the instruction might come corner. Pez has the ball. There'll be a pause after this ball goes into touch. Mauro Bergamasco has cramp.
Time off. Number 6.
I think this is the first time they've had quick ball. Just look at the overlap on the left hand side. If we flip it up, that's the overlap going down the left hand side. Just from Worsley's run, Dawson's pass, and Hodgson just hits a flat ball and gets on the outside of the defence. So simple when you have quick ball.
Replacement for England, Danny Grucock. He's had a good game in the loose. Knocked on a couple of times when he was trying to play scrum half, but when he was on the drive, he's hurt Italy, and Simon Shaw is on in his place. Italy still attacking. Pastuccia towards the tail, Parisse this time to Paul Griffin. Piccone tackled by both Jamie Noon and Mike Tyndall. Griffin, nobody really outside. Pez had to absorb contact himself, and there's plenty of it as England hold him up and then drive him backwards. Slow ball for Griffin. Parisse sort of got the ball away. Now it might work. Canale to Bergamasco.
Turnover.
England have stripped Bergamasco. Matt Dawson might be numbers. Delalio long to Tyndall. Noon waits and then has to go in and form a little bridge. That's good play, Lewis Moody. Simon Shaw, and that's a good offload from Shaw. Hodgson, Cohen, dummy. Griffin makes the tackle. Again, good hands by Simon Shaw to Charlie Hodgson. England are not exactly making swathes of ground.
Well, England not contriving to break out there because of a series of good tackles by the Italians, and I think the game has been it's been signified by that sort of passage of play. England occasionally getting breaks, but the Italians doing well. Enormous amount of difference in the passes completed, and that's consequently a reason why the Italians are looking jaded at this point. But they've never let England get out of sight. England just haven't been able to get enough quick ball.
Not straight for Italy. Weariness evident in everything they do now. Jerry.
Yeah, Eddie, it's amazing. We've seen how England can score coming from deep with pace, and that last phase of move, I mean, they were also flat. None of the big guys were coming from deep with any pace. Easy to defend.
Lawrence Delalio plays number 8. Charlie Hodgson makes Stoica scramble across, so the pressure remains on Italy as we enter the final really painful minutes for Italy. They're on the back foot, they're tired, they're trailing, and England can be quite cruel now. They could make a really brave Italian performance look a bit of a mess on the scoreboard.
Piece receiver, 4 and 1. Stay, 10. Receiver's done, that's fine. Stay, 10-5.
That's well taken by Del Fava. Born in South Africa. Ramiro Pez, born in Argentina. Mark Cueto, he'll take it quickly. Tom Voice. Parise up with the tackle. Cueto had looped his fullback. Chance here now, Ben Cohen. Jamie Noon went on the inside angle. It's going to be Paul Griffin back. Scrum down.
Scrum 22.
Or the option of a 22 or the scrum.
And they'll take the scrum, it's there on the 22 anyway, so... I venture there from Ben Cohen, but he's not quite there.
Waiting, engage!
Paul Griffin delays the put in, he'll have to get it in quickly.
Moving around, but if you come up, let's present it first chance. They pushed before, right? Yes. They pushed before.
Marco Bortolami just saying England pushing before the ball came in.
Wait for them, wait for them. Wait, same level. Engage!
Yeah, Griffin has to get that ball in quickly.
Stay, thank you. Waiting, blue!
That's a good kick by Tess.
It is.
Here goes Ben
relieving,
Cohen.
But off we go again.
This time it does go 5 metres. It didn't at Twickenham last time. Tom Voice beats one. Tackled by Bergamasco. Tyndall drives it up.
How you see it?
That'll be a penalty against Italy.
No, you were then, you're off, you flipped and flipped it back. First time was fine, but then second, flick back.
England in no rush for Matt Dawson to take a quick one.
First was fine.
Interesting, it looks as though he's not going to go for points, he's going to go for territory. Let's see if England can fashion end the game on a high note, bigger tempo.
There's Charlie Hodgson.
I think
scored a try.
I think Charlie Hodgson has done as much as he can with the quality of ball he's had.
Yeah.
Well, he's took his own try well, tried to move whatever's been there, kicked what he's needed to.
Nearly scored a second.
Receiver, stay.
Lee Mears is on the touchline and he will throw in. Towards the tail it goes. Lewis Moody. Mears on the loop. Dawson, England starting to get their offloads together now. Matt Stevens.
Go.
Lewis Moody. Driving legs of Lewis Moody. England hit the ruck hard. Clear it well. Another one of those little chip kicks for Mark Cueto. Good feet by the England winger. Good offload to Jamie Noon. England that close. Charlie Hodgson does a bit of clearing out and England are penalised.
Sure about that one. Nice job, unfortunate for Cueto. Instead of having a 1-on-1, he had a 3-on-1.
3.5.
Ball there.
3.5.
Well, the problem was that when Matt Dawson came in, he didn't drive the man off the top. He flailed round the corner. And my RBS Six Nations man of the match is indeed that man, Charlie Hodgson. I think in an England performance that stuttered at times, he has done as well as could be expected, including moments of individual brilliance, but he's kicked his goals as well.
Interesting change made by Andy Robinson, the England coach there. He gives Mike Tyndall a round of applause as one Gloucester player gives way to another. James Simpson-Daniel on in the England midfield. Parise, who's won a lot of ball for Italy. Well, they've gone wide for Mirko Bergamasco. Paul Griffin. They'll come wide again. Actually, they might have numbers here if they get it going. Here we come. Marco Bortolami, Del Fava, Parise. Persico plays scrum half.
Unfortunate for Italy, they didn't have the firepower out wide, the wingers.
Going. Pez. Oh, that's good strength by the outside half, because Lawrence Delali was trying to rip his head from his shoulders. Oh, that's good by Canale, Gonzalo Canale. Mirko Bergamasco scorer against Ireland, and he's going to score against England. And listen to this roar.
Well, he's very happy. They're very happy. And that's the reward, actually, for the tenacity that Italy have shown in this game. From England's point of view, some poor tackling, but just show the heart and the spirit with which this team have played under the new coach.
This was superb build-up work by Canale, always looking for the tackle. And that's a good fend, good handoff. Not the best tackle by England, but Mirko Bergamasco.
Good work there, passing out of the tackle, wasn't it? Just to give Charlie Hodgson the man of the match, he goes high and gets shoved unceremoniously into the dirt as Bergamasco disappears.
Well now,
in goal.
Well now, Brian. 7 points for Italy, 16 points they have. Have we got time for a little rousing finale?
Well, there is time, obviously, but you wouldn't put your mortgage on it. I think ultimately Babizier will be happy by the way the game has gone.
Italy still need to score twice, but if they went the length of the field right now, no, they've only got a few seconds left. Still, it has been a wholehearted Italian effort, and they've posed a lot of problems.
Waiting in front.
And England have had to dig deep. They have won comfortably, perhaps a little more comfortably than that scoreline suggests, but England hasn't been.
It's not been fluent, has it? It's not been fluent.
No.
You know, stuttered at times, and the forward effort, whilst it's been wholehearted, has not really been clinical enough to produce sufficient quality and quantity of quick ball from which the backs can work.
Countdown to the end of the game has begun. We're into overtime. England in possession, England in control.
Stay down, make them bounce, stay down.
It hasn't been a scintillating performance, it's been a solid away win.
Keep it going forward, that's the first one.
That is also a point, actually, Eddie, that England are away, and it does make a difference.
Matt Dawson has to go in and is now in the heart of a maul. Ben Cohen has looked for work all afternoon. Matt Dawson, nothing opened up for him close there. Ben Cohen. Matt Stevens. Taken on by Steve Borthwick. Lawrence Delalio swots little Ramiro Pez out the way. Now it might open up for Charlie Hodgson and Jamie Noon. Ben Cohen, could he celebrate his 50th cap with a try? He won't. Tom Voice starting for England in the fullback position.
Stay blue, stay.
Martin Corrie is now on the deep right-hand touchline.
Simon Shaw has the ball. Good tackle on him. Matt Stevens. Piccone and Parise eventually bring down the prop. The next stoppage will end the game, but that stoppage might be a try for England. They're Building patiently. No, that's it. The penalty has been given. They will take the penalty.
Time is up. 16 was on his feet.
No point in Italy kicking for touch. That would be the end of the game. They know they can't win it.
Time is up.
If they kick for touch, that will be the end. So, here they go. Oh, clattering tackle. It is going to be a final try. James Simpson-Daniel comes on and scores, and that's one of his easier tries on a plate.
Well, you use the word cruelty, and Italy were more or less forced to run that ball by the fact that the game would have been over. In doing so, they've paid a price, haven't they? You won't get many more simple run-ins than that. It's a shame for the Italians.
Yeah, the scoreboard will now have a cruel look to it. James Simpson-Daniel on and over, and the game will be over as soon as Charlie Hodgson has completed the simple task of putting over this conversion. England will go beyond 30 points, which makes it look a handsome victory, but it's been a bit ugly in places. Solid, not always efficient, and certainly not fluent by England, but it is a clear-cut win for the side that beat Wales in the first game. They've travelled to Rome and they've beaten Italy, but Italy will take a lot of heart from this.
Okay.
England 31, Italy 16.